Here we go. Okay. Hey, everyone. I'm Caroline Rena, and this is Conversations with Caroline. And because it's still new, I have to say that this adrenaline that's kicking in my body is just like, so I'm really grateful that you are here with me. And even if you're watching this after the actual live event, that's great too. And I'm just setting this up so I can see what's happening here because I don't actually see see myself on the there we go. Okay, so we're all set. So I want to share just real quick. Again, I'm Caroline Rena. I am a transformational coach, and I help people heal from trauma, raise their vibration, spiritually awaken, and find clarity in that process to attract what your purpose is, what the reason is that you're here on this planet. And it's so important that we understand what these processes are that we're working on. And this last week, I can't even begin to tell you how deep and powerful these experiences have been. And they're certainly not easy. And as old souls or highly sensitive people or empaths, everyone is actually on this planet going through this process. It's just some of us have more of an awareness of what's happening, and some of us may not even know that we're old souls, and we may not know that we're highly sensitive or empathic, but we know something's off. And then there's other folks out there who are also going through things, and it's just like this chaotic thing. But what's interesting that I'm finding is, especially back when at the beginning of the pandemic, I just kind of fell into this space where it was like, now I have time to sit and figure out who I am, what I want with my life, and how it was going to go. And I went through like these levels and levels and levels and levels of different things that gave me opportunities, which is my favorite word to use, to find this and to find this truth. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's to find this truth inside of me that we're not taught about this stuff when we are younger, especially my generation. Now, here's something interesting. So some of the things that have been happening over the past week, I drive for Uber. I have been getting immense amounts of old souls in my car. Now the age range is fluctuating even more. So I've been putting YouTube videos up and TikTok videos up about how initially the age range was between like 18 and 23, maybe a little bit older than that. Now it's kind of moving up to 37, but anyone, any age can be an old soul. Anyone, any age can be highly sensitive. And again, they can be empathic. And when we don't know what this is about, and we have these things occurring in our life, like traumas, example, birth trauma, childhood trauma, generational trauma, past life trauma. There's so many different energies within our DNA that pull in these experiences that we're having in this life now. And it's interesting because a lot of the experiences that are going on are not necessarily our experience. It's an energy that gets caught up in our nervous system, in our DNA, because it comes down through the generations. And I have a friend of mine that I know who works through this generational trauma stuff. And she was saying that it actually goes back 14 generations. So when things come up in our lives that we don't understand, when these emotions start surfacing and it just feels like we're losing control of everything. It may not necessarily, well, I can tell you it's definitely not what's going on outside of you. This is always, 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 I'm finding this is an internal process. So what happens on the outside of us triggers, there's that word, the internal healing process. And when we know that it's an internal healing process, then we are able to follow through with that process. If we don't know, uh, such as before I went through the last couple of years of my healing journey, which was a really deeper dive into it, I was diving into the nervous system. For most of my life, I followed through with therapy and cognitive work, and I started to understand, and I could relate and picture all of these things that I knew were happening, and I could talk about it to get my understanding of it. But then things would happen in my life and my body would just go nuts. My body would like have this anxiety reaction. I would pace. I would walk around the room trying to figure out what's going on and shaking, just trying to run or whatever. And I could not run because I felt like I was obligated to stay there and deal with whatever was going on. And the weird thing about this whole thing is our stress response, our nervous system, and all of everything that we have going on here in this body is all to protect us. And so the stress response is more of I like just using tiger, but I've heard saber-toothed tiger is not chasing you. You're not running from a saber-toothed tiger. You're not fighting one, and you're not freezing. However, because it's the same system, what happens is every single time that there is a trauma, it builds and builds and builds on top of the original trauma, which whatever the reaction was, whatever the feeling was, whatever the emotion, whatever the thought, whatever was going on in this created a belief that made us react and become hypervigilant in the world. Because in the world, really, there aren't things happening that are truly life-threatening. However, our brain can't tell the difference between something that isn't life-threatening and something that is. So what's going on is, example, have you ever thought of, and I'm going to just share this for you, a lemon? When you think of a lemon, it's already happening with me. Your mouth starts to water, right? So your brain cannot tell the difference between actually having a lemon there, eating it, and just thinking about it. So that relates to these traumas and the stress response, where you have the trauma, either, like I said, generationally or as a child or whatever's going on. But if something comes up in your life and triggers that emotion or that thought, it will automatically kick in. And it is nothing you are doing wrong or right or whatever that is causing this. It's the human body. It's the physiology. It's how our bodies react to something that causes, or that it feels like it's causing us fear, or actually it starts with fear. So I'll go with that. So the fear piece starts, but then there's also, usually when we are in fear, then we kind of will either get angry or will be sad or whatever is going on. So all these energies are getting created and packed into our nervous system. And when they pack, there's no room for them to flow. And what I'm learning now, which is really, really interesting, is that these vibrations that are in our bodies, through the meridian system, through the air, every vibration is everywhere, right? And we are part of the world, and we're all connected, and we're going to feel vibrations. Like even walking into a room and feeling this heavy, heavy, heavy heaviness. You don't have to be highly sensitive to feel that. I've talked to people who are not highly sensitive and they still feel that. So we have that, all of us have that. And what I want to get into today, just so I can have some kind of actual conversation here, is I'm going to do an oracle reading, which I mentioned on last week. There's a couple of things. I'll do an oracle reading, which will help get this started and possibly move into, you know, what's going on for you, because there are similar things going on for a lot of people. So it'll be easier to do this with that thought in mind. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'll give you a new tool. I'll give you another tool this week. And these are tools that I have found that help me to release these energies, raise my vibration, move up into a more feel-good state. And if you're anybody who's ever watched like Abraham Hicks, she talks about this, how the vibration thing works. And it took a lot for me to understand it, because she kept talking about this high flying disc and how we need to raise our vibration to meet this high flying disc, because like attracts like, and the energies are going to connect. And then all of the stuff that we've ever wanted or dreamed of or whatever is on this high flying disc. And we meet that disc when we raise our energy. So in order to do that, and I welcome anybody to come in, because I'd really love to have a conversation with you around, you know, either the vibrations or what's going on with you, and possibly what's happening that can help you in your life right now. And just join me. I mean, if you come up on Facebook, then I can, and then type in, I believe I can do that, type in a comment. I should be able to see that, and I can answer that or talk with you a little bit about that. And we can talk back and forth, I think, through the comments, because I'm on a basic Zoom thing. So I don't know how really this piece works yet. So bear with me on that. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. And if nobody shows up, I'll just keep talking until it's time to stop talking. Okay, so what I'm going to start off with first, and this seemed to be a big deal for people the last time I did this, because I talked to a couple people just to check and see how it went, you know, saw people that watched it, and they were like, you know, one of the things that they really appreciated and liked about it was that I did an oracle reading. So I'm going to do that again. I don't know if you can, there we go. So this is the deck that I use. It's a very complimentary deck to my journey. And the people who are in my space who are similar to me, especially because they're in my space, I can use this deck for them because it fits in with them. So I'm going to use this with you too. And I'm going to do this reading, and let's see where it's taking us, because this might help on another conversation I can just start talking about while I wait for anyone who might want to join. And I am here doing my thing, and hopefully sooner or later there will be people coming in to hang out with me and chat, and that would be great. So I'm on Zoom. There is a link. There's a link. Oh, I don't know if I put the link on Facebook. So let me see. Hold on a second. I don't know if I did that. Let's see. Do you even? It's okay. Because if you're on Facebook, you can come onto Facebook, but you won't be able to actually talk directly with me, but you can talk through the comments. So let's just, if you have the Zoom link, then please join. That would be fun. It would be kind of cool to do this. So anyway, so I've got this deck and I'm shuffling, can you tell? And I'm going to share whatever the message is for this evening, because of all these things that are shifting. I mean, I've got, you know, the whole thing with connecting with the old souls, the younger generation, old souls for me. I've got this thing with understanding the subtleties and everything about higher vibrations, which I never really understood before, because when I was younger, I felt these vibrations in my body, but I thought there was something wrong with me. So I didn't do anything about it except lock it down. and I hid. And this part of me, this connective part of me to the universe, is not something that I put myself out there with, because when I grew up, and most of the people that have been in my life were not into that sort of thing. And I thought, again, still, that if they weren't into that sort of thing, there must be something wrong with me. But now, because of the work I've been doing, the healing work I've been doing, I have shifted that, and I'm going to be who I am. And this is my truth. And I'm going to do it because it sits well with me. So that's all I can do, and that's all any of us can do, is just be who we are. Sometimes we have to do the heal from the trauma to find out who that person is, and to raise that vibration to attract all these different things into our life, rather than the law of attraction works both ways. You can either attract something negative into you because of all the dense emotions and everything that are stuck in your system, or you can raise your vibration and attract what you want into your life, and follow that path. So, all right, so I'm going to do a couple of shuffles, like real shuffle. That's not easy to do in my lap. And here we go. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah. All right. This is fun. This is fun. I love doing this kind of stuff. Oh, there we go. Well, no, not much. Okay. It's going. It's going. Anyway. And one more. Here we go. So if you want to share any comments, if you take a look at this afterwards, after it's done, and you want to share comments, by all means, if you have any questions, anything that you think I might be able to help with, or even if you don't think I might be able to help with, because in some cases, or most cases, I can help, even though you don't know what to ask. Or if you're afraid to ask something, it's okay. You can ask, you can actually, whether you do it in the comments or whether you direct message me, whatever you want to do is all right. And also I want to say, when you get a chance, you can see all these videos on YouTube if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I am back on TikTok after figuring out how to use it. And so that's going to be fun, because I like these little short snippets that I can do there. So, okay, you ready? Here we go. So we've got a card that's going to get pulled here, and let's see what's going to happen. Oh, I think it's this one. This is it. Okay. Okay. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think we drew this last time. So we've got this, and it's what is already with you. What is already with you. There, you see it? I'm trying to do this so it doesn't, the light doesn't blind it. So we've got the butterflies, and we've got the aura kind of field, auric field in the hands. So this is, oh, and there's the flower of life in here too. It's very tiny. And this is the card we're going to go with. And let's see what it talks about. So what I normally do when I do these cards, so I'm not actually a reader. However, I use my coaching when I am reading the information, and I share what I feel would be beneficial and helpful for you to follow for your life. And this is a reading for everyone who watches this. So, okay. You hold in your hand that which you seek. So you already have, you may be a seeker, but you already have that information. It's all with you. It's already with you. In other words, the pair of spectacles you have been rummaging around the house for are sitting on top of your head. That's one for the well, I guess everybody does that. Never mind. I'm not going to say the older folks. I'll let go of that one. Anyway, what you are seeking, perhaps by exploring far and wide, is actually right under your nose. You may not like this idea. It is so much more wonderful to imagine there's something yet to find, which, you know what? And that's how we all start our journey. I did the same thing. I was looking out here for my entire life. I looked to religion. I looked to, or different religions. I looked to spirituality, Native American, different types of body work, and researched anything and everything that I could put my hands on, or read anything and everything that I could put my hands on that talked about how to fix me. And at some point, it started all coming together where there wasn't anything about fixing. It was more about discovering and finding the truth of who I am inside of me. And that's what this is related to. And let's see, of course, there is unlimited creative potential and always something more that can be. Yet in this instance, it is important for you to know that you already have what you need and what you want. That doesn't mean it's the end of the story, although it does ask you to give up the fantasy that a perfect solution lies in the future somewhere. That's the other thing. Big time, learning about the now, learning that our safety is in the now, learning that being able to heal ourselves is in the now. By being present in this space, we can heal ourselves and let go of these energies and these things that are holding us back from stepping out into our lives. And the beauty of it is that if you don't force it, like here's that feminine stuff again, if you don't force it and you release these dense energies, the lighter energies automatically come back up and flow. It's not like they are not gone forever. They are in there. They just need to be allowed to be released. And you get to do that. And, you know, throughout the last 30 years, and especially the last 8, and then the last 2, these complete breakdowns that I've had, and or the breath work that I've done, the deep somatic breath work that just releases those energies. It's hard. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, because you will bring up emotions and you will cry and you will get angry. However, it's okay that you do that. It's okay that these emotions come up. That's the point. We are emotional creatures. We are taught in society not to be emotional or feel our feelings or cry or whatever. And for me, my hardest one was anger. And I held it down. I held it in and I held it in until one day I couldn't take it anymore, because I thought I would rage out on somebody, which thank goodness I did not do that. But I purposely made the attempt to find other outlets on a pillow or a bed or a baseball bat with a tire, anything that would help me to release that anger, because I was very angry. And now it's helped me move into, forgiving myself, forgiving my mother, forgiving my father, forgiving experiences in my life and other people that I was so hurt and angry at and blamed, before I recognized that I was the one who brought the energy to the table and started to see that. And that's what you can do with your healing. And to recognize that is very powerful. Anyway, so let's get back in here. I like going off on tangents because I like to talk and I like to teach, if you haven't figured that out yet. But anywho, okay. Instead, this card asks you to acknowledge that everything necessary for success is with you now. All you need to do is accept this and act with what you have available to you. This is good news. This particular chapter has a happy ending in store. That ending will become real for you just as soon as you stop trying to skip forward to the next chapter. Okay, so let me talk about this real quick. So in our world, there's this thing called instant gratification. Nature doesn't work that way. Nature is slow and purposeful. And it also gives us the opportunity to catch up, because as human beings, sometimes when something comes up, if too much comes up, we could lose it, right? So by giving us the opportunity to move with it and sit with it and let it settle, let it integrate, that's when we get the full effect and the permanent lasting permanent effect of the healing. You're never going to go back. You never go backwards. But what you do is you're climbing this mountain and you come to a higher part of the mountain where you have a different perspective. So even if the same thing is happening to you again, now you've been doing the healing work and now you have a way to step forward because you can recognize what's going on rather than freak out. All right. So that's what you don't want to skip forward, because if you skip forward, you're going to miss beautiful, beautiful experiences and lessons, and you're going to possibly have too much happen at the same time, and our mental capacity I don't believe it's able to handle that. This is what I've understood about how that works. Better to be completely present in the now. From here, the next phase will naturally happen without force on your part. That's what I was talking about. There's a book called Power versus Force by David Hawkins, and that leads back for me to say something about the vibrational thing, because vibrations run on there's numbers attached to the vibrations, and shame is actually the lowest vibration, and it vibrates at 60. And then I'm not sure what the highest one in, but love and joy and peace move up into the upper, the higher vibrations. And those are in the 500s, the 600, the 700s, you know, so the higher your vibration is, the more you vibrate with that particular thing. The lower your vibration is, you're going to vibrate with the shame and the fear, the anger, the other, but they're not bad. They're there to help us. They're dense and they're hard to walk through. It's like walking through sludge, especially when you're healing from it, but they're meant to be there. They're there to help us. And I just want you to get that piece of it. Yeah, so you can still have fun doing this stuff, even though it can get dense. Okay. I just want you to know. And that's the piece about you're raising your vibration, because it becomes more fun. Okay. Deep breath. Anyway, it might not seem like you have much to start with. Perhaps you feel that all you have is a small, simple choice to make. Perhaps you have a song to begin, an email to send, a conversation to start, or a sketch to let loose. However small, it is enough to get the ball rolling. Don't make the mistake of believing that what you need is behind you, lies with another, or is yet to appear. You have all that you need to take the next step in your life, and from all that, all else will flow. This is another thing. When we take that first step, the one that we are scared shitless to start, that very first step that we know we need to take, the universe starts to come in and it starts to show us things. And that's where the clarity comes in. It starts to show us the direction that we get to go on. And it comes through songs, it can come through billboards, it can come through someone saying something to you, it can come through any way that the universe finds that you understand how to hear it. For me, it's books, billboards, numbers, people getting in my car. I mean, I've had people get in my car who are actually there to tell me something, that they have a message for me that I need to hear, so it's not just me being a safe space for people to vent. It's not just me meeting all of these old souls that I've been meeting. It's also for me. And that's just how the universe works. It has been doing that more and more every day with the people that get in my car. There are less and less people who are having issues get in my car than there are people who vibrate at this spiritual awakening level process, and that doesn't mean that you're better than somebody else. All it means is that it's the more positive, I don't like using the word positive anymore. It's the higher energy. It's just the higher energy that leads to the peace and the love and the joy and all of those things. So And there's a sweetness to all of that. And it's small pleasures at first, but one from which greater pleasures can unfurl. So that's how things get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, the other piece of that is too, when you receive it, allow yourself to receive it, give thanks, gratitude, and celebrate, even if it's something teeny tiny. Like today, I got an amazing, I woke up this morning and somebody had watched one of my videos. It was the old, was it the old? Yes, the old soul one, and on YouTube. And this comment was like, it helped this person. And that's what I'm doing this work for. And no matter how scared you might feel about how to step out into this, there are people out there like me who can support you through this. And when this person, I don't know if it was a male or a female, I don't know how old they were like, thank you so much for sharing this information, because now I have a second wind to move forward and know that I can do this. And I'm like, oh my God, here I am, just like I'm doing now, just talking. And this person got so much out of it that they sent me this comment. And I'm like incredibly grateful. And that touches me. And that's what I want. That's what I want to see happening. I want to see that what I say can help somebody. And then I actually got another one from the Raise Your Vibration video on YouTube that said not the same thing, but said, thank you for sharing. This was great information. And I'm like, cool. Okay. Now I know it's landing. Now I know that I'm sharing information that's helping people. So that's what this is all about. So this message is amplified if you have drawn one of the other. Okay. So we're not even going to go there because that'll take too long. This is about another card if you draw it and put it in with this, but we did not. So this oracle also comes with special guidance for you. You are more ready than you think you are. You are more ready than you think you are. I am saying that again for me as much as I am for you. And because as long as we can work through this stuff that we don't know how to work through, or that we're afraid to work through, or feeling scared or alone, or any of these types of things, as long as we're able to do that, things will shift for you. And I can't say it any other way, because I have experienced this, and I was at pretty low points in my life. I was at thoughts of suicide. I was years in my 20s. I was on the floor screaming and crying. So, just so I could, I didn't understand what was happening to me. I was alone. I was scared. I had no support. It was all me, and I didn't know what to do. But I kept going, and I kept being persistent, and I kept being consistent, and I kept my commitment to myself that I wanted to find the truth of who I am. And now I am seeing that more and more and more and more. And every pattern at this point for me, the patterns, the deep patterns that I get to work on are coming up for me to work on. So that's what this is all doing. That's what is already with you. It's inside of us. That's why we need, or I'm sorry, I don't like that word either. That's why we get to heal these traumas, so we can step out and find that out and live our lives in the biggest, most amazing way that we could possibly live it in. And my hope for you, just like it is for this person who commented, both of these people that commented today, is that, because I know what this feels like. I know what it feels like on the one end, and I know what it feels like now, and I know what it keeps feeling like, because I'm still going through it. This journey's not over. I'm still here talking to you, right? Okay, I'll stop talking now. Okay. You are more prepared than you realize. You don't need an entire army of resources to move ahead, although you may find that when you do move, many resources suddenly become apparent. I've already talked about that. I had mentioned that earlier. All that you need in this moment is just one sweet act of nourishment. That is enough to take you out of backwards nostalgia or regret and forwards into what is awaiting you. Now, be brave, dig deep within, and enjoy the sweet surrender. I have a mantra that I started using 6 or 7 years ago, I think it was. Be willing, be willing, be courageous, be free. And it all starts with choice. And I talk about that as well. All right, so now I'm going to get into this healing process that always comes with it. And you just follow along. And so what I want you to do is hug yourself by wrapping your arms around your body. Just like this, like put your right arm on your left shoulder, hand on your left shoulder, and then your right hand on your left hand on your right waist. God, it's late. And that's how you can do the hug for yourself. And see if you can summon love for yourself. It may not be easy, but just see how you can feel it. See if you can feel it. Feel what comes up for you with this. Do you think it's silly and you're resisting it? Or can you soften and melt into it? Might be helpful to close your eyes. Take a deep breath and just feel the love for yourself. You know what it feels like. You give it to other people all the time. Feel it for you. You are as deserving of love as anyone. Can you accept this love from yourself now? Feel your heart beat in your chest and the flow of your breath. You are alive. And I'm going to throw something else in that I've read before. You are a miracle. You are connected to life, and you can trust in yourself, your own mind, your own body, your own breath. Just be with yourself and know that all is going to be okay. Reassure yourself that letting go of the past is as natural as the passing of the seasons of life. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And when you are ready, you can stand up, open your arms wide, and hold them above your head for a moment. Imagine your heart and hands are open and shining out the beautiful light that is within you. So just open here, open your heart. Allow it. Just allow it. There you go. Okay. Might not be easy, but you just try it. You just try. Here you go. Okay. Imagine the universe receiving it and saying yes to you. If you are feeling cheeky and ready, you send a big yes back to the universe. Yes! Oh my God, that was so hard for me when I did that years ago. I could not say yes. I couldn't do that. And now I can. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. That is all. That is enough. You are enough. So be it. And that again is what is already with you. That is you. Sometimes those things aren't easy to do. Trust me. I mean, it took me a lot to do that kind of stuff, but it's well worth it. That's for sure. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do, because I haven't seen anybody come on, so this is just another YouTube video. This is fun though. I like this because I get to get creative with a bunch of different things, and it doesn't have to be so formal, and that's really cool. So, okay, so this tool I want to share with you is called, it's from Heart Math, and it's called the Quick Coherence Technique. This is really, really powerful because what it does is it connects you with your heart. And when I did that whole thing, this is heart opening. Most of us have had some kind of shame or fear or whatever, and we tend to close up. We close ourselves off to the world. We shut ourselves down. And a lot of times it's not even conscious. And you see people out there who, you know, especially the older that they get, they're like walking with their shoulders in like that. A lot of shame that came up for them in their lives at some point, and they've been holding that in there. And that's what we're working through to open. And it's not easy, especially when, you know, I mean, it helps to do yoga, it helps to do a bunch of stuff. It helps to meditate, anything to open that heart space. So this particular thing is called Quick Coherence Technique. And what I want you to do is, I had mentioned last week this heart focused breathing, which I'll redo because when you see this, you may not have seen the last one. So the heart focused breathing is just close your eyes and bring your focus in from your head down to your heart. And just breathe. Just breathe slowly. There's no specific way, no right way. You don't have to do anything for somebody else. This is all for you. And just allow this breath to keep coming in and flowing out. And coming in and flowing out. And when you're done, the next step is to activate a positive or renewing feeling, something where something felt good in your life, an experience that made you feel happy or joyful or excited. And just think about that feeling. Feel that feeling. And then you can envision what you want to change for the better for yourself. With that feeling in your body. Some other thing you can do is you can think of someone who you love deeply, just to evoke the feeling. It's all about the feeling. It's all about the vibration, the energy of that feeling. And just keep breathing. And then at some point, stay in with yourself, and you will start to feel a lot more open and a lot more relaxed. And your heart is actually moving into coherence, which is what they talk about. And it's really an interesting topic, and how it deals with the body and how healing the body using the heart helps to heal. So there you go. There's a tool for you. And I know it's kind of late. I just thought of it. But I'm still learning how to do this stuff. So I'm going to share. I'm going to be honest. If this sounds kind of off or wonky, I did not plug in my microphone. So hopefully you will be able to hear and understand everything that I talked about. I conversed with myself with. Okay. All right. So please reach out if you have any questions. I would love it, again, if you would go subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're on TikTok, I don't know what the word is, subscribe there too. And whichever, it doesn't matter. And just follow along. I mean, most of the stuff on my website, I have a blog from April of 2021. I started this blog, and so there's my whole journey in there. If you want to see, if you relate to any of that stuff and it can help, and then you move forward, you can see all the stuff that I'm doing now. It's all there. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, that it is now a video. I appreciate you. And if you showed up to watch this, you're meant to be here. And I'm really grateful for that. All right. I'm not really sure what else to say. Peace.